Cool. What's up, guys? It's
going on?
Jose,
I am
aka
Calvin.
Drark, and that's Kelvin, as he said. And we are here today with a. It's a combination. It's not something I'm sure you guys probably haven't. You've probably seen a version of this somewhere, but this is essentially a reaction video to a review, and it's also a review in itself.
Right.
Essentially, there's been a lot of different reviews for the Last of Us 2, the game itself. I currently just finished beating it. He already beat it before me, but then beat it with me again. So we essentially, what we wanted to do here today is just really listen to what their point of view is. Everyone has the right to their own point of views. So that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying, that ours is right, theirs is wrong. I just want to point out our point of view, per se, on it to kind of show maybe a different side of it.
Yeah.
Maybe they can understand and agree, maybe not. It is whatever it is.
Maybe it'll help everybody's opinion about the game.
And you know what? Like I said, to each his own. You don't
Yeah.
have to agree with us. It's totally up to you. It's just I feel like everyone's been putting everyone's been putting their opinions out there, and I feel like I have my share of opinions as well, and that's perfectly fine, right? So I decided that I was gonna go ahead and do a video. Kelvin's gonna join me here. We're gonna get this one done here for you guys. We are going to go ahead and do the review based off of one of my favorite YouTubers, actually, and that's going to be a Dreamcast guy. I love his content. Usually, he's fantastic.
Yeah, puts pretty good reviews.
It's something that I enjoy watching because he's kind of like a realist when it comes to budgeting and stuff like that for video games, and that's always welcomed. However, with this video, his point of view, like I said, he's entitled to his own point of view on it, but I just had my own version of how I perceived his points. So it's not necessarily to prove his points wrong, it's for me to just explain how I feel about it and maybe give some perspective. For whatever reason, if he ever does see the video, he could be like, no, okay, or he can still be like, I still don't agree, and that's okay. We can all agree to disagree. That's what life's about. So. Yep. That's perfectly fine. However, I did just want to go ahead and kind of go over that. Now, I'm not going to play the whole video. Obviously, it's his content. I'm not trying to do anything off of that. But, I wanted to hear certain points that he mentioned certain things and kind of just go over those things he mentioned. So I'm just going to be skipping along the video to get to that point. I don't want to make the video too long either. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. And then in the end, we're probably going to go a little bit over what we feel about the game, something like that, right? So we'll go ahead and get that started here. But yeah, so let's get it started
Is this
here.
supposed to be on or anything?
It's already on.
I mean...
No, not that one. Yeah, okay.
Just making sure.
Yeah, you're good. Alright, so cool. Let's get it started here.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here, and it's time to talk about The Last of Us. Just want to thank everybody.
Okay.
Now, the thing we have to point out here right at the start, a lot of the advertising for The Last Younger, in my full release, and what is actually in the game.
So right here, this is a good place to start. He starts off by talking about false advertising by the company when it comes to the trailers that came out, and then in contrast to the actual gameplay, when you actually get to play the game, that's actually a really good scene right there where you see Joel's two different visuals at that point in time. To me, that's actually a very good point. There has been some of these scenes where there's just a little bit, why did it do that? Now, to me, and I'm not saying this is the case, this is just what I thought off of it when I first heard about this, was that we all know the game was spoiled right off the bat, and there's really no way to still surprise anyone anymore nowadays because spoilers come out, and when spoilers come out, people know the game. So you kind of got to throw, a left curve at him sometimes to just kind of surprise them. So to me, this is just
I thought it was like a swerve. We don't want to give too much of the story away. We're not going to tell you
everything.
Everything. We're not going to tell you that Joel dies. So I think that's why they did it this way, to kind of trick you in a way.
And the other thing is talking about the original trailers. That's something he mentions here. The very first trailer I recall about The Last of Us, we all assumed Joel died.
Yeah.
We all assumed that was something that happened because it was a silhouette of him that walked through the door, and Ellie was talking about how angry she is and how she's gonna kill him. She's gonna kill them all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so everyone's initial instinct for this game was Joel's dead. What happened? You know,
right.
And so to me, I came into this game even before any
I thought the same thing.
Before any of spoilers or anything. I came into this like, oh, Joel's dead. Dang, that sucks. Well, it makes sense, you know. I don't know how or why.
When
but
me and Jose played the first game, I was like, "You think Joel's gonna die in part 2?" And he agreed with me.
Yeah.
We both thought he was gonna die at some point. We didn't know when.
Yeah.
Or what point of the game he was gonna die, but we knew that it was coming.
Yeah, because like honestly, I didn't think it was going to be an association with what happened to the Fireflies. Like, maybe, but to me, I was just like, that's kind of far-fetched a little bit. I guess just I didn't really think about it too much. But now that you play through it, it makes sense, right? So to me, I was just like, however, the game also, when it's being developed, a lot of times what they do, the developers, they create one base silhouette, and then they make the whole game based off of that silhouette, and then at the end they tweak what parts need to be tweaked to what date, age, and time. So this could have just been the same silhouette they used for pretty much the entirety of the game, and to make the characters, because I've been working on like creating characters as well, and usually you got to make like the actual art of the character, and then you sync it to the actual the moving body, and then you can make that moving body do whatever you want it to do. But then if I wanted to do something, I'd have to edit it later. So to me, I was just like, okay, well, to me, what I would assume happened was they made the base silhouette. They did the whole game with it, and at the end they were like, okay, so in this scene he's younger, so edit some of his hair, edit some of his facial features, remove some of the wrinkles, or add some here, because that they already did everything with everything. They just wanted to, finalize on those details. That's what I got off of it when I first did it. Yeah. So that's where I originally was just like, okay, I'm assuming that's how it went. I don't know. I'm not a developer yet or anything like that, but that's just kind of how I perceived that portion of it to be. Yeah. But then, like I said, even if not, I feel like if they were okay with doing it, even if that was the case, to me it would have just been that they were honestly not trying to give too much away. And I've seen other video games do it and not really get a lot of hate about that before, Like, this isn't the first time this ever happened. This has happened in a lot of other video games. Yeah. So to me, it was just like, it happened, so,
Or other trailers where they show the trailer, but they show too much of the movie. Yeah. It's like, you don't want to show too much of the movie. You want to keep things a surprise for when you actually do watch it. You're like, oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I've seen it happen before. That's all I'm saying. It's not specific to this.
They flat out changed half of the entire experience is dedicated to a new character named Abby. Okay. That guy, I hate the story in this game, and specifically, I very much despise Abby because she beats to death Joel. Okay, and somehow, the fact that the developers of this game thought that somehow we could relate to Joel's killer is just so baffling.
That, you're entitled to your own opinion, in my opinion. I understand that you don't want to play as the one that kills a beloved character. Yeah. And I know that coming up there's going to be a part where he mentions, because I've already seen this, he mentions in the video how much of a father figure Joel was to everyone. Yeah. And that the fact that we have to play as the person that kills him, it's very hard. To be fair, the best way for me to describe this is in terms of agreeance into what he's saying. I understand that it gives you anxiety, that it gives you a lot of heartache to have to play that regarding to a character that you're very closely associated to, and that's a very fair statement to have to play the one that causes this. It's absolutely tough. When I first played through that scene, I was like, oh, I gotta kill Abby, and I gotta kill her now. I was just like livid about it. But I understood, and as the story progressed, the whole time, even when she killed him, I kind of understood why. I didn't know exactly why, but I kind of understood why, because they hadn't gotten over it yet.
Yeah.
But as the story progressed, you had enough details to kind of start putting two together.
Right.
So the whole time I wasn't just like, oh, it was a mindless decision by her.
Yeah.
To me,
we knew there was a reason behind it.
To me, I knew there was a reason behind it. So, I'll get more into that a little bit later too. Just see what else we got here. He's going over the beginning and how it was playing out.
He was a person that showed that sometimes you can make your own destiny. Yeah. I've liked how Joel Abby, and I just absolutely despise it.
He
now,
hates
as
playing
of the writing of this video, I have beaten the entire game twice, and is very, very important. I mean, Abby, she didn't just kill Joel. She didn't shoot him with a gun or throw him off a cliff. She tortured him to death. They make it very clear that he died a slow, painful end. I mean, this is so traumatic that even the few seconds of this that's witnessed by Ellie, it gives her PTSD that lasts for literally years. Yeah. They show intense flashbacks that she experiences because of this moment.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, this was a very impactful scene and emotionally impacting to everyone, the characters, us, the gamers, everyone. He's gonna go on about the part where he feels like Abby is just dysfunctionally and morally evil, like within the core of her as a personality of who she is, and that's fine, you know, like in your opinion, if that's what you feel, that's fine. However, there was just certain points that I wanted to just kind of point out. Right here, I wanted to pause to point one of them out. Is he talks about how she kills Joel, right? And when she kills Joel, she... just trying to find the right words for this. When she kills Joel, she takes her time.
Yeah.
And she does it very painfully. And he says that she doesn't get any guilt, and the reason that he cannot associate or feel bad for her is because through the entire game she doesn't display any kind of guilt. And I understand what he's saying, but to me, there's a reason why she doesn't display any kind of guilt, and that's because
Joel killed her father, which her father was a doctor. That he was the only one that knew how to save the world and how to get that vaccine, and then Joel kills him and ruins all of that. So that's why Abby kills Joel, because he killed her father, right?
Yeah, but it's not just that he kills her father and she killed the only person that really can make a cure for humanity at this point in time, regardless of however that cure was going to be used. He was the only person that could make one, and that really just showed a lack of faith in humanity if you're trying to defend that point. But anyway, the reason to me why I understand why she took her time and why I understand she's not showing regret is because this happened to her a long time ago. She was a child when this happened. She was I shouldn't say child, like a teen, a young teenager. Yeah. However, and this girl in her teen years experienced not only her father being taken away, not only the person who can create the only cure to save humanity, the only person that has the ability to, but he also killed practically everyone in that place, destroying her home, because that was her home as well, that base there. So that was completely wiped off of that area for her. She lost everything, and she, at that point as a child, decided to dedicate her life, after she came into conclusion and acceptance of everything that had happened, decided to dedicate her life, every waking moment, to get revenge on Joel, to kill Joel no matter what. And that, if that means training from then on, going to the gym every day, getting buff as anyone else that you've probably met in your life, if that means working your way up to the top of the ranks so that you can become the toughest, most ruthless killer in the world, so the day that you face Joel, you have nothing inside of you holding you back from getting this kill, then so be it. She developed absolution as a child or as a teenager to do what she felt she needed to do, not only to get revenge for herself, but for the world. Like, even if you take her emotional side of it out, let's say you remove the fact that he was her father, Joel took the only chance that humanity had for a cure, period, point blank.
Yeah.
So
you ruined that.
If you're gonna ask what she did right, was killing Joel the right thing to do? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he went on a killing spree to get this girl to this place for it to be the cure, and then once getting there, kills everyone in there. And then once he kills everyone in there, just takes the girl away and prevents the cure from ever happening. Like, no consequences were considered at that point in time. Now, I love Joel as the next person, but we all know that that part was messed up, and in the video, he also agrees that Joel probably could have died because of the shady stuff he did.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. But she's been waiting for years to do this, so when the time comes that she's going to kill him, yeah, she's going to take her sweet time, and she's going to make it as painful as possible. You don't wait all these years to shoot him in the head, bam, done.
Make him suffer.
No, yeah. And then the other thing that goes along with that is, okay, so she's going to kill him, right? To say that she has no heart or that she's fundamentally evil, she could have killed Ellie right there. Danny, the other guy, he was ready to kill her. He was like, she's probably gonna want revenge. She's already here. She probably knows who we are, what we're doing. She's from the camp. They're gonna ask if we let her go. They're gonna come right after us. Abby still lets it go because her only main goal was to kill Joel.
Yeah.
And she succeeds at killing. She
wasn't here for Ellie.
Yeah.
She was here for him.
Yeah, she wasn't here for no one. They all agreed the purpose of this was to get Joel. And what does she do? She kills Joel. She makes him suffer. She makes him pay. And she kills him. Not only does Abby let Ellie live, she lets Tommy live, the brother.
Yeah.
So she lets them both live. Gives them, and then she goes about her way. And then she tries to find peace within herself, but realizes that it wasn't enough, and she still feels some kind of emptiness inside. And then she finds solace in rescuing the 2 children. So, but that's going off in that direction. Yeah. What I'm trying to say, though, is Abby only did what she had to do based on her convictions from a long time ago, from what happened to her. At no point in time did she go on a... take the opportunities. The only time that she almost took the opportunity was when she was going to kill Dina, who attacked her, and Ellie told her, don't, she's pregnant. And she said, good. She only said that because she was at that point mostly impacted. And this is the difference between her actions and Ellie's actions. The reason that in the video, he says that Ellie shows empathy is because all this just happened to Ellie. All of it just happened to Ellie in front of her eyes. So yeah, Ellie is going to have that internal rage of going on a gung-ho mission to kill everyone, which, is justifiable in this situation. And so she hasn't even, comprehended or digested the whole situation properly yet. So when this happens here, she's going to go and do things that she might not even realize that are that bad. For example, she starts killing everyone, and she feels really guilty when she kills Mel, because Mel's pregnant, and she kills her, and then she sees that she had a baby, and she realizes, I just killed someone that's pregnant. Right. It's because she didn't think of it. She didn't think the whole thing through. Yeah. And
she didn't know.
She didn't know she was either. And the thing is that none of them killed Joel. Right. Abby killed Joel. They may have all been there because they all wanted to be a part of the death of Joel because he killed everyone related to them. Right. But they didn't kill him. Abby did. If Abby used the same logic of wanting to kill all of anyone that was involved with Joel's death, Ellie would have been dead too, because Ellie was the reason this all happened. Right. But she didn't kill Ellie. She let her live. Yeah. So, that being said, you're going to see remorse. You're going to see, all of that from Ellie, because she's the one going through it right now, and she's still grieving. But to say that Abby is fundamentally evil and Ellie isn't, I don't think that statement stands, because when she goes to kill Nora, Nora was dead. Nora had breathed in all the spores.
She was already infected.
She was infected. She was done. She didn't have to do nothing else. She could have just left.
Yeah.
But she wanted to get the information from her. That's fine. She could have gotten the information from her. But she tortured her after already being infected, and then killed her to get the information.
Because she was involved in killing Joel.
Yeah, because she was there for when it happened.
Yeah.
To me, that is more fundamentally evil than anything that Abby has done so far.
Yeah.
Because she went in on Nora.
Yeah.
You know? And it wasn't needed. Nora was gonna die.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
but she went in.
Anyway,
she went in on Nora.
Right.
And when she got back, she was a little shaken up. Yeah, you just did some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, anyone's gonna be fucked up. Yeah, your adrenaline's fucking kicking. You just did some horrid shit. But the point is that she's the one that's been going on a rampage, and I think that that's what's affecting Ellie the most, and ends up being her downfall. It's that Ellie just can't grasp her own sense of identity and what to do next based on the death of Joel.
Yeah.
And Abby had years to get over that. Abby had time to process everything, accept everything, devise a plan for everything, and work up to it. And when she did it, she continued on.
Yeah.
And even then, at the end, she lets Ellie go again.
Yeah, at the very last scene.
She lets Ellie go again.
Yeah.
So, a fundamentally evil person wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have listened to a child.
She would have killed Ellie
She would have killed Ellie regardless.
Yeah, no matter what.
Like... But anyway.
Let's move on.
I digress.
Get to the next part.
And despite the fact that there is this terrible, bloody action, is good friends with the famous How to React. She doesn't do things that feel normal or necessary or human. And I think that this is why a lot of gamers seem to hate her, is that
he's referring to
the game,
her being
we want
cold.
to be the hero, we want to save the world, or at the very least, we want a story that fits.
I do understand the concept of normally wanting to be the hero, but I don't mind playing the story of of dodging a moral bias.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay sometimes it's okay to see the other side. And if you truly delve into the reasonings of why everything's happened, it's impossible to say that Abby didn't have her reasonings. Like if your father got murdered, and he was the only person that had the cure to save the world.
Yeah.
And he got murdered in cold blood. For no reason, because if you didn't want her to give the cure, you could have just taken and left.
Right.
But got murdered in cold blood. And then just destroyed your entire home in a post-apocalyptic world, so it's already hard enough to find one.
Right.
And then just leaves you with nothing. Would you be like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just let it go, move on?
Yeah.
You know?
He'll be angry.
No, fuck no. I'm gonna get mine, you know?
Right. You want to find the person that ruined everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna find the person that ruined my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get him back for this.
Not just life, but everybody else.
Everyone else's life. So no, I'm gonna get him back for this. That's not cool at all.
Right.
You know? I'm not gonna sit there, and if you deny that, then you don't care moral wise. You just want the main character to win.
Yeah.
That's all it is, you know?
And that's just a typical story.
And that's just a typical story. The main character wins, you know?
You know, we've seen that 100 times.
100 times, yeah. So
I was okay with them changing it up.
Yeah,
doing something
exactly.
different.
It was good to see the other side.
Yeah.
It's something that as I was doing my game playthrough, I was mentioning a lot. I was saying that the only difference between good and bad is whose side of the story you're listening to. So, you know, it just depends, you know, which side of the story you listen to. A lot of times the first side of the story you listen to ends up the one you attach to first, because that's the first time you hear it.
Right.
But then when you hear the other side, you're a little reluctant on it. But if you had heard it the other way around, maybe it would have been bad instead, you know?
Right.
So, it really just depends on whose side of the story you're on. To me, it made perfect sense the way it was played. And I couldn't say that Abby's reasonings don't exist. Even if Abby, for whatever reason, agreed that she was fundamentally evil. Not that I agree with that, but let's say she was.
Yeah.
I still believe she had her reasons to do what she did.
Right.
And she didn't kill everyone Ellie knew. She didn't go after Ellie's entire fucking... She went after the one person, Joel. That's it. Jesse died because Jesse and fucking Ellie busted through the doors, guns blazing, and Abby wasn't about to just fucking sit there and get shot, so she just shot the first one that came in, and the next person that came in. But it wasn't specifically because they were connected to Ellie or to Joel. They just happened to be there. She could have killed fucking Tommy originally. Right. That was Tommy's brother. Or that was Joel's brother. Yeah. He could have killed him right there, but she didn't.
Because she wasn't after him.
She wasn't after him. Ellie, on the other hand, said, fuck everybody. I'm killing your cousin, your mom's, your twin brother, the baby next door's neighbor. I don't give a fuck. I'm killing them all, you know? Right. So, I mean, fundamentally,
we want a flow to stuff that feels this time when she's just doing super savage stuff like here she is, she's shooting Tommy in the back of the head when he's unarmed.
Okay. All right. This part right here. He says when he's shooting Tommy's head when he is unarmed. First of all, Abby's a good shot. Abby knows how to shoot. Very well, might I say. She's the top of the leaderboard in kills for the wolf for a reason, you know? She's gotten to where she's at there right now for a reason. She's really, really good at what she does. If she didn't shoot him point blank at the back of the head, skull, while he was in front of her, she didn't want to kill him. She could have killed him.
Right.
You could say that, oh, she just missed, but he was already on the floor thrown. Like, I'll replay that part one more time so you can see it.
He's just doing super savage stuff. So, here she is, she's shooting Tommy.
So he's on the floor now. He's on the floor now.
Yeah.
He's already, they're not even touching. He's on the floor like this. Yeah. She points, moves slightly, shoots, and then she turns around to focus on them.
Right.
When have you seen Abby miss like that?
Right. Especially what she did to Jesse. As soon as
Jesse just bam through the door. Bam, headshot. Bam, headshot. Just like that.
Killed him instantly.
Instantly. No, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But she's going to miss this guy who's, like, legitimately right there? Nah. Come on.
Yeah.
She easily could have killed him. Easily. And even Lev didn't go for the kill. Lev shot him in the leg.
Yeah.
And after he fell, she shot him in the head, but not, like, head to kill him. Like, grazed him.
Yeah.
It could have killed him, yes. That could have been a kill shot, for sure.
Right.
But it wasn't. It wasn't a definite kill shot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like no, I'm definitely trying to blow your brains out. It was I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, by all means, she could have intended to kill him. Absolutely. But she didn't. And she could have. Easily. And let me just replay that part to just so that you can hear what he says.
Violence. It's even shown that towards the end of the game, there's this time when she's just doing super savage stuff like here she is, she's shooting Tommy in the back of the head when he's unarmed. It's really apparent as a character that Abby just lacks empathy.
So, again, we just talked about that. But as I mentioned earlier, in regards to empathy, she doesn't need any. She's had years to come to terms with her decisions. She's had years to come to terms with the fact that she's done with Joel.
Yeah.
And she's had years to accept that when she does what she's got to do, she's not going to feel bad about it. She's done with it. Now, if she feels any kind of way right now, is because she just lost some of her closest friends. So yes, she's going to act a little out of concern right now. And no, why would you feel concerned for the person who's just shot Manny, one of your closest friends, straight through the head?
Right, yeah.
Why is she
right in front of her?
Right in front of her. Why is she gonna feel empathy for the person who just shot freaking a pregnant woman that you were close to and pretty much the love of your life?
Right.
Killed them straight both. And the dog.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, no, there is no room for empathy. There is no room for empathy. There's just room for anger and hate,
right.
Which is what she has. And even then, she controls it because she could have easily let it overtake her like Ellie did when she killed all of her friends, but she didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't kill them all. She let them live again. Like...
She is unable to relate to the pain of others, and she just inflicts pain on so many people with absolutely no remorse.
I want to just really quickly, when he says so many people, who?
Yeah,
who? I mean, I understand. We're going to get to that part. It's coming up, and I'll talk about it then, which involves this question as well. But let's just get there.
And it makes this even worse because at times this game tries to make you right underneath. During her chapters, we see how quickly she's willing to just turn on her own people. There are times in this game when you start trying to hunt down the wolves, which is like her old tribe, and if you listen closely, they will call out her name in confusion. She is literally cutting the throats and stuff of people she used to eat dinner with.
Okay. That's the part I was trying to get to. So, at this point, first of all, the clip that he's using, he's killing Seraphites. Scars. They're not wolf. If there is wolf there, if there are wolves, like if that guy was a wolf, they're in the middle of a war right now with
Seraphites.
with the Seraphites.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, Owen abandoned the wolves. Pretty much the love of her life.
Yeah.
She escapes them to find Owen.
Right.
She finds out earlier in the hospital they're trying to bring her back. They're trying to bring her back. She gets captured and is going to be taken to Isaac for interrogation or punishment. Nora lets her escape to find
the supplies.
Not just the supplies, but to find Owen.
Yeah.
So at this point, Abby knows they're already ready to turn on her.
Yeah.
They're already ready to punish her for this.
Right.
The only reason that she didn't turn on her friends is because they're her friends, the group that was originally the Firefly group that was at the hospital.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they're close. Yeah, that's great. But they're already ready to turn her in.
Right.
Because of her needing to go and try to bring back Owen.
Yeah.
So first of all, they're already not on good terms. They're already looking for her. If they see her, they're gonna be like, "Wait, weren't you supposed to get captured and brought back?"
Yeah.
You know? So there's already some conflict there. But second of all, in here, Isaac and a group of her friends shoot down Yara, one of the girls who was one of the two children she rescued, who she found purpose with. And they shot her in front of her eyes. And then they all drew their guns on Abby, saying, "Bring this boy out." And then Isaac came out, the leader, pointing his gun at Abby. And what does Abby do? She puts her gun down.
She didn't want to kill anybody.
She didn't want to kill them.
Yeah.
Like he says, they were friends. They ate together. They were raised together. And at this point, she's like, "Okay, I know that we've had some back and forth and we did some wrong. You guys tried to kill me. I killed you guys because I'm trying to defend my life. But right now, I want to save these kids. Please don't kill them. They're just kids."
Right.
But even then, she could have just shot Isaac. You know?
Right.
She could have. But she didn't.
Yeah,
she put her gun down. So you can't say that she has no moral qualm with her friends that she was with, because obviously she does.
Yeah.
She was ready to die to save the boy's life. Even if she had to stand in front of him and get shot first before they killed him, that would have been any chance for him to run. She was ready to die to save him, but she would have done it without firing back because of how much she loved and respected them, regardless of the fact that they were trying to kill her.
Right.
Maybe the ones that she was killing, they knew each other by acquaintances since they were from the same place, but they didn't know her.
Yeah.
You know? So she was just killing them off to defend herself. But then at the end, Isaac, who she's obviously very close to, she's just like, no, I can't do that. That's too much.
Right.
So you can't say there was no kind of emotional connection between the two, because obviously there was something there.
Yeah. And you can't say that she's evil because she's trying to protect these two kids.
Exactly.
If she was evil, she would have just killed them both. Not give a fuck.
Well, his explanation is just like, that's just her facade character. Her evil is within. But it's, you know what, that's perfectly fine. If that's how he feels about it, that's fine. But my point to this is that she shows empathy when she needs to. Not when it comes to the people that murdered her family. Not when it comes to the people that murdered her friends. Not when it comes to anyone. She no longer feels that level that she doesn't need to feel. She got over that when she was a little girl and her father got killed. That's done. But she will feel something for people she still loves. Like her friends. Like Isaac, her boss. Like these two little kids. And she took the opportunity to get the hell away from there when Yara came back and shot Isaac. And you know what? Yara MVP. May she rest in peace.
She saved her little brother.
Man, she's a real one right there. But anyway, freaking Yara was a beast, man. But point is that she definitely showed some emotional concern towards the people that she was involved with, in my opinion.
Or play catch with. We also witnessed times where her loved ones, the people that actually tried murdering enemies. It's essential to keep in mind that Abby was one of the top soldiers of the wolf. Is that Abby is evil. Person who kills him. Joel dying, it fits the universe. Yes. I'm not happy about it. It definitely still really upsets me.
Absolutely.
But I think that putting that in your game, it does kind of fit.
It absolutely
I think
makes
that if
sense.
they put that at the end of the game as like a motivation, or if they tried to put it as something to try and kickstart another sequel, I feel like that could have fit. But
no, I don't think so. I mean, technically you would have made it so that everything that's happened so far, because the thing is that it wouldn't have worked if you had left Joel's death to the end. What would have been the motivation for Ellie to go on a rampage?
Right.
What would have been the motivation for Ellie to do anything?
Right.
You know? Like, why would she go and kill her Abby's friends? Why would she be on a hunt for Abby? You know? What was the revenge purpose of this? Right. You know? The game wouldn't have made any sense at that point. There wouldn't be any game.
Right.
The game starts with Joel's death.
Right.
Joel's death is what ignites the chain of events to happen.
Story.
Yeah, the whole point of this game is by Joel's death. That's what ignites everything. Unless the first 3 hours you extended long as fuck, and that's what you would have wanted your second game to be, that's a different story. But the whole game really happens only after that. Right. So
it feels like such a giant, dumb mistake that they just slaughter Joel and then expect us to somehow think that that's okay.
The thing is that it is.
Right.
Like, I love Joel, but it is. He ruined everything.
Yeah.
For everyone. And in the end, he says he would do it again.
Yeah. He said if I had the chance to do it again, I'd do it all over again.
So I'm just like, I'm gonna fuck that. If he killed my dad like that, I'd fuck him up.
Right,
Slow as fuck.
Right.
You know? It's okay.
Wouldn't you?
But at the same time, I understand that it hurts us because that's who we got attached to. But you can't look at this game as the actual character. You gotta view it as you, the player. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta see it from the bigger picture. You gotta see it like it's a world playing in front of you and you are watching what's happening.
Right, exactly.
You know? And if you see it that way, yeah, you're gonna get a lot more out of it than if you see it as yourself as Ellie, or as yourself as Joel, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna be like, I loved those characters. All of them. I absolutely do. But at the same time, if you can't understand that, you're not looking at the whole picture.
Yeah.
You know? You're just sticking to your little world.
Right.
And
It's like sticking to him because he's the main character.
Because he's the main character. Yeah. Like, well, shit, man. It's the closest thing I can describe it to is like when a parent has a child who commits murder, and then they bring him to jail, and they're like, "Let my son go. He's a good boy." Is he though? Yeah. Is he though?
Do you know what he's done?
I understand you love him, but is he though? Yeah. It'll be a third person's perspective that would give you that clarity, you know?
Right.
That's what you got to look at, not the mom, you know? You can't be the mom here, because shit, man. I'm sorry, but that's not how shit works.
In this cruel, cold world. Now this brings me back to the core plot, because I have seen some people that are trying to defend this game by saying, okay, but the bad actions are done by everybody.
That's true.
This is a game that's just all about the cycle of vengeance.
Yeah.
And Ellie herself also does some very, very dark activities in this game.
Absolutely.
And you know what?
Just like
I'll
what we said earlier.
agree with that.
Yeah.
But there is a key thing that is incredibly vital to point out, which is that Ellie regrets her mistakes.
And again, she's regretting them because everything just happened to her.
Yeah.
Everything just happened to her. This is her saying, I'm going to go on a killing rampage right now. If maybe she had 7 years to really let it sink in, maybe that wouldn't have been the case. Maybe Ellie would have just been cold-blooded and killed them all and had no regrets either.
Right.
And she still would have killed them all. And this time she wouldn't have been shaken up or regretted anything because they killed Joel. So it just happened to her. Abby had plenty of time to process this. You know?
Right.
She developed her conviction over these years. At this point, Ellie doesn't even have conviction. She just has rage.
Yeah.
And rage blinds you. And when it blinds you, rage eventually fades, and then you could see what you did, and it's going to hurt you because you are there still.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's just that she's seeing what she's done that was bad.
Yeah.
Ellie did bad. Ellie did wrong.
Like what she said in the very first trailer when they revealed or announced The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm going to kill every last one of them.
Yeah.
Not just, I'm going to kill Abby. I'm going to kill all of them.
Exactly.
That's more evil.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's based on revenge on everyone.
Everyone, not just one person.
But Abby killed him.
Yeah.
You know? Ellie could have said the same shit, but she didn't.
Yeah.
She is a human in a fallen land. We are the enemy, and they have done terrible things. But just as that same way, we can see that Ellie actually feels bad about the people that she kills. Ellie, it doesn't just feel like you're carrying out revenge or trying to get justice. It genuinely feels like Ellie is a good person. This is the pivotal divide between Ellie and Abby. Playing as Ellie, it has a purpose. It has a mission. When you're doing bad things at Ellie, it doesn't just feel like you're carrying out revenge or trying to get justice. It genuinely feels like Ellie is a good person who's being forced to do bad things.
He said Ellie's a good person.
Being forced to do bad things. I don't know. Some of those things she didn't have to do.
I don't think she had to take revenge. She just wanted to take revenge because that's Joel, the father figure.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, she didn't have to kill the people that she killed. She killed... Like, Ellie had no connection with the Seraphites this entire game.
Yeah.
But she killed a shit ton of them.
Exactly.
Ellie had no and she didn't feel bad about any of that.
No, she just killed them all.
She just killed them all. Which is the same logic he says that Abby does, but Abby doesn't feel bad about that. Well, neither did Ellie.
Right.
Like, at least Abby has a connection with the Seraphites and why to hurt them.
Yeah.
Ellie had none the entire game.
Had nothing to do with them.
And neither did honestly Wolf have anything to do with anything.
No, just Abby.
Just Abby.
I don't even know did Wolf know anything about that? I'm going after
Isaac knew.
Isaac, okay.
Isaac knew. If anything, Isaac, but no, honestly, they all went there because they all wanted revenge. But the one that did the killing, the one that did the damage, the hurting, it was Abby.
Abby, yeah.
honestly, as I was playing the game, I was feeling like, damn, Ellie is losing her fucking mind. This isn't. I remember playing as Ellie in the first game, and every time Ellie did something crazy, killing someone or whatever, it was to save Joel. And Joel said it in that game. Joel said, it's either them or me. Yeah. And she said, yes, it's either them or you. That's why. She killed them to defend and protect Joel.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case here. She just killed them because they wouldn't give her the information she was looking for.
Yeah.
Really?
So she was pissed about that.
Yeah. But, you know, like, really, to kill them, though? They didn't kill Joel. Abby did. You know?
Yeah.
And she killed a lot of them in a really fucked up way.
Right. Especially Nora.
Yeah. And what's her name? The one that was playing the PS, the PlayStation Vita or whatever?
I don't remember.
She wasn't even fucking a part of the group.
She was part of Wolf, I think, right?
Yeah, but she wasn't, like, in that original group that fucking...
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
But she still...
She wasn't there when she killed...
She still murdered the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
Didn't feel an inch of pain.
Yeah.
Not an inch of regret there. Didn't feel any way kind of bad about it.
Nope.
Just, fuck it. She was in my middle.
Yep.
You know?
She tried to kill me, so I killed her.
Yeah. So, like, it's... But the whole time, you know why Abby is killing Wolf. Wolf, one of them, because they're trying to kill her and the kids. You know why Ellie is killing Seraphis, because they've been natural enemies the whole time. Plus, they're trying to also kill the kids, and again, trying to stop that from happening. And then the main characters. And even the main character, she didn't want to hurt any of them but Joel. She was minding her whole own damn business but Joel.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas Abby is an awful monster that is reveling in her own dark urges.
Is she? Because she didn't kill her. If she wanted to kill Dina right there, she would have. Right. If she was reveling in her own dark urges, she would have right there, regardless of what Lev said.
Right.
But she didn't.
She did it for her Lev, right?
Yeah. And I didn't even if she could have just told Lev it had to be done. You don't know what they did, or you saw what they did. 1.5 million excuses. They would have come back after me.
Yeah.
She could have got 1.5 million excuses on why she would have killed them and gotten away with it.
Right.
But she didn't. She let them live. Again.
Yep.
Again.
That was the second time, right?
To me, all that this showed me is that Abby is leaps and bounds and years more mature than Ellie is.
Right.
To me, this showed me that Abby has gone through all of this already and has matured from it and has learned to turn the other cheek when it matters.
Right.
You know? Like, yeah, she didn't turn the other cheek for Joel, but that's okay. That's Joel who ruined everything for everyone. But aside from that, okay. But Ellie literally ruined her own life in this game. Ellie lost everything.
Yeah.
In this game.
Lost her fingers,
lost her girlfriend, her child.
Yeah.
She lost her whole life.
Probably lost Tommy, because now he's all pissed off at her.
And she had already technically lost Joel because she just wouldn't forgive him for saving her life.
Yeah.
She had lost everything since the beginning.
Yeah.
You know? Ellie just never got around to it.
Yeah.
It was too late.
Right.
Ellie just wasn't mentally ready for this. And she was the one that did everything to herself. Everything.
Yeah.
And whatever she didn't do to herself, Joel did.
Right.
Abby just wanted revenge for her dad and her family and the world. Which is honestly understandable to me.
Establish the fact that Ellie has this very concrete set of laws. She wants to try and protect her friends and be a guardian and do whatever it takes to make sure that everyone around her can be as comfortable as possible.
Unless it's at her own emotional risk, because if it is, then she'll just abandon everyone and go for her revenge, which is what she did.
Yeah.
But anyway.
woman traveling the lands. So she goes here to try and see if she can track down Abby just one last time. And when she arrives, she discovers that Abby was here, but has been captured by a tribe of soldiers called the Rattlers. So in her quest for vengeance, she decides to go there, break into their base, and finish Abby off. Oh my gosh, seeing this gameplay, it still just kind of upsets me. I downright despise this ending. It just feels so bad because the entire point of Last of Us Part 2, it's about cycles. It's about everybody's constantly on this quest to try and get even. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to try and destroy their enemies. But the thing here is that...
No, that's what it's originally intended to make you think. It's intended to make you think that it is all about revenge and about cycles. But what it really is about forgiveness. It's about learning when enough's enough. It's about really just understanding what it is that life sucks out of you when you focus too much on revenge. And I'm not even speaking out of myself. It was in an interview by Druckmann, the creator, the story writer. So that was the intent for this. If you took it as the intent for this game to just be, no, we're gonna kill her and that's it. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what the purpose of this game is. It's just revenge cycle and it's never gonna end. Then that's how you took it. But you have to see the bigger picture. That wasn't the bigger picture. It was about forgiveness. And this scene, honestly, it's not the first time I see something like this. The show, not The Last of Us, this is the freaking
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. There is a scene where, and this is, I'm sorry if it's a spoiler for you guys, if you guys don't care, but Maggie, the wife of Glenn got killed before her very eyes by Negan with the bat, like brutally. That affected me like you wouldn't even know. I wanted Negan to die so bad, like you don't even know how bad I wanted him to die for that, because I loved Glenn. And so did Maggie. And dude, she had this hatred inside of her. She had this urge to kill him. And part of me also was on her side. I was like, kill that fucker. Like, to be honest, just end it, because he's done nothing but destroy shit. But as the show progressed, it did a little bit of this, where it showed you, not so much his side of things, but that revenge isn't always going to be the solution. And what happens is she's decided she's going to kill him anyway, and then the only person that can stop her tries to, but then realize, you know what, that's not even my choice. If that's what she wants to do, let her. So she says okay and lets her go through. So she goes to kill him, and then she sees him in prison, miserable, broken, and realizes that there's no need to kill him. Yeah. He's already suffered enough. Look at him. He's destroyed. He's nothing like what he used to be. He's going to suffer in jail for the rest of his life like they planned.
Right.
And so she decides not to kill him. She decides that he's been beaten enough.
Right. That's pretty much what's going on.
And this is what's going on here. She gets to Abby. Look at Abby. Her hair's been cut. She's lost muscle definition like you wouldn't believe. She's been strung out dry to die. There's no more beaten than this. There's no more beaten than this.
Then you fight her and then you slash her several times.
The only way that you could beat her any more than this is by you being the one that beats her. And I think that's why, even after her saving them, she still challenges her to a final fight.
Yeah.
Because she has to have it within her saying, I beat you.
Yeah.
I put you where you are now.
Yeah.
I took everything from you. Or I have the power to. Because their last encounter, Abby had that power.
It's kind of like, let me get the last word in before we separate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's what Ellie emotionally needed to be able to officially move on, was to have that one-up. Abby didn't need it. First of all, Abby's proven time and time again, if she wanted to, she really could have fucked her up.
Right.
But also, as I mentioned earlier, Abby's matured past the point of needing that. Abby's only true passion was to kill Joel. That's it.
Yeah.
And this is just a testament to why she killed him the way she did, because that was really the only thing she cared about. All of this to her is superficial. The only other thing she cares about now is Lev, which is why even after seeing her, her only worry is saving the boy.
Yeah.
And she wasn't going to fight her, but she fought her for the boy.
Yeah.
Because that's all that matters to her now. Not no superficial needing me the one up.
Yeah.
That's just her needing.
I just care about getting the hell out of here.
I just care about saving this boy's life. So, to me, again, that shows how Abby really matured. And it shows how little maturity Ellie had. And how little control over her emotions and her mental state she had.
Yeah.
But Ellie still did what she needed to do. And the biggest leap of character development for Ellie was when she let her live. Because not only did she succeed in fulfilling that need she needed inside of her of having that upper hand, but once she completed it, she decided not to kill her. And to me, that was her also maturing, also realizing that this cycle needs to end. And I think that was huge. And that's why, to me, the ending for this game was fantastic. Because, to me, with the theme being forgiveness and growth and ending the cycle, nothing showed that more than that scene of Ellie letting her go.
Yeah.
That was the big boom. The message has been received. The message has been delivered.
Yeah.
Here it is. Forgiveness has been accomplished. Everything has led to this point, and it's done.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why the ending is fantastic.
That's why she said, just go. Just get out of here.
Just get out of here. Take the boy and leave. Because she knew that there's more to life than just that.
Right.
So, that's my opinion on why I think that the ending was actually good. Because it actually stuck to the point of the message.
But not only that, but like we said when we beat the second game, he said if she kills Abby, then it's a never-ending revenge cycle.
Yeah.
Lev will come after Ellie later on when he grows up.
Unless
just be like a whole thing all over
unless
again.
Ellie kills Lev. And how much better than Abby is she then?
Right, exactly.
You know? You're still going to be like, good for Ellie for killing an innocent little boy who didn't do shit to deserve this.
That had nothing to do.
That had nothing to do with my vengeance, you know?
Right.
Like, stop looking at it from just their perspective. You can't just be the mom. You got to be civilization and see for the bigger picture here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So.
There is no conclusion in this game. We break into the prison complex and set Abby free.
There is a conclusion. The conclusion is that Ellie matured. That Ellie got what she needed emotionally, the support she needed emotionally within herself by taking that control of Abby's life where she could have ended it and didn't. And she found that she gave herself the peace she needed to be able to go back home in the first place. Though she's lost everything, she was able to do that for herself. And sometimes you need that more than anything else that you have. A lot of people sometimes live in lives, like especially people with PTSD, live their life feeling just haunted by memories and pain. Yeah. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of them commit suicide or lose their minds or whatever it is because they can't control it. And even though Ellie did this, left to resolve it and came back and lost everything, she left to resolve it. And by resolve, it doesn't just mean killing. Initially, it could have meant that. But what it really means is just confronting that pain you have. And that's what Ellie did. She confronted the pain she had, and she was able to resolve it in her own way. And to me, that's the biggest level of resolution one can have within themselves, to go back home to finally be able to sleep at night, to say, I did that. I left it the way it was. I left it within my control to end the way it did. I gave them a second chance at life. That boy will now be able to grow up and be a peaceful person. Abby will be able to grow to lead her own life and protect this boy going forward. And even though I hate her for what she did, and I'll never forgive her for what she did, that part is a part of my past now, and I need to move on, accept the life that she gave me when she could have killed me twice now.
Yeah.
So that was very big for Ellie to be able to move on from, and to me, that was a fantastic resolution for the game. And on top of that, they left room for a part 3, which I'll go over like after this portion here.
And as she starts trying to climb to a boat to escape, Ellie challenges her to a fight to the death. They punch and cut each other in the shallow waters until eventually Ellie starts getting the edge over.
Really quickly, This was honestly, I think, one of my favorite parts in video game history. I personally was so
the fighting,
the fighting between them.
Yeah.
I was so invested in both characters. I couldn't choose on who to win and who to lose.
Yeah.
I didn't want either of them to win or lose.
When I was playing that last part, man, I had so much anxiety. I was like, "Oh man, what is gonna happen? Is Ellie gonna die? Is Abby gonna die? I didn't know what to expect. I was so nervous. I was like, this is so epic. But I was just like extremely nervous at what was going on.
Like every strike, every punch, I felt like could have been the one that turned the tides. That one grabbed the knife and stabbed him, or whatever. every little moment, I was just like.
It was like Rocky versus Apollo at the last round.
At the last round,
they're both bleeding. They're just beating the crap out of each other. They look like they just been through World War III.
Yeah, it was war. They went through war, and they were both beaten and destroyed, and they went through war to really, really beat this out of each other. And this reminds me of, I know you keep using Naruto as references, but it's good. The Naruto versus Sasuke fight at the end, they ran out of jutsu power or like chakra. They was just straight up punching each other, just like this. Yeah. That's literally how it was ending. They was just straight up just trading fists, and you're just like, and you could feel that fight scene, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, but in here, I you relate to both characters. You feel both characters' pain and worry and anger and anguish and experiences and everything that they've gone through. And you don't want neither of them to hurt. You want them both to just heal from this, you know?
Right.
And to see that you had to do this, this was the most amazing part of this game to me. This scene right here, like in the shallow water, the gray background. Water is a huge indicator of emotions, and this was literally just like innuendos and metaphors and everything, just really depicting how emotional this scene is.
Yeah.
And all of that combined to this, I don't understand how anyone could disagree, but people's opinions. Yeah. But this to me was a fantastic scene.
Yeah. One of my favorites.
Oh, easy.
Abby. In her defense, Abby bites off 2 of her fingers, but Ellie just keeps drowning her. Right as it looks like Abby's going to die, what I feel like is a very deserved death, Ellie begins to imagine Joel and decides to stop holding her down. Abby just gets up and she leaves. This ending just sucks. Not because it's trying so hard to be poetic, not just because it's so much of a crappy cliffhanger. In my opinion, it does.
So he says Abby had a deserved death.
Yeah.
But he didn't think that Joel didn't have a deserved death. Like we said before.
He thinks that he had a deserved death. He just also thinks that Abby also has a deserved death. But the thing is, okay, Ellie also had a deserved death because Ellie killed all of her friends.
Right.
So she also had a deserved death.
Nobody's in the right here.
No one's in the right here. And that's the thing you got to understand. Both of them fucked up. Both of them did what they thought was right at the moment in time and did some horrific things. Right. And on each side, they both provided themselves with absolution. And people do that. That's just the way nature is. That's the way life is. But I see both their sides. And so in the end, that's one more thing. You said that it was a cliffhanger. That was not a cliffhanger, in my opinion. To me, that was a conclusion between Abby and Ellie. Abby got what she wanted, which was to get out of there with Lev. And Ellie got what she wanted, which is to show that she had control in this whole situation. Yeah. And they both did what they needed to do, and they both left it as is, and that was it. So to me, the rivalry between the two is concluded. And I understand maybe you didn't like how they were pushing the poetic point, but I loved the poetic point they were pushing. It was an incredibly poetic and beautifully displayed portion on the concept here. And I understand if you don't agree because of the fact that, you just hate Abby for your reasons, which you've mentioned plenty of. That's fine. But to me, I don't hate Abby. I personally side a little bit more with Abby than I do with Ellie. That's personally me, though. And so to me, it was poetic, and it wasn't a cliffhanger. And that scene where she saw Joel was incredible, because that last scene with Joel, something very important happens where she, after all these years, the night before his death, she finally admits to him that she doesn't know if she can forgive him, but she'd like to try.
And that's pretty much what happened with Abby.
And that's pretty much what happened with Abby. Yeah, she flashed back to the most important person in her life, someone she just couldn't forgive. But at this very moment in time, Abby is the most important person in her life, because she's the one that took the most from her emotionally. So she doesn't know if she's going to be able to forgive her, but she knows she needs to try. And if she wastes time, like how she wasted time with Joel, she's never going to find happiness, and it'll be too late. She will never find herself. But she was able to realize this at the final moment and say, I need to let go. I need to forgive. That'll be the only way that I can move on. Because I wasn't able to move on. I was with Joel all these years, and I wasted them being angry.
Yeah.
And she was going to do the same thing with Abby. She was already doing it, but she was going to continue to do it. So this was the only way for her to do it. Forgive her like she couldn't forgive Joel, but she knew she had to. So that's why that scene of Joel was so important there. And that's why I think that it was there in the first place, and important, because the whole concept of this game, like I said, is forgiveness. Let it go, man. Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it. Not for your own health, not for anyone's sake. She lost everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Just move on.
Does not fit the universe at all. We have already seen Ellie, she does not mind killing to protect Joel. She has done this in the past. She has not hesitated to slay people to absolutely make sure that Joel and his friends can remain safe. She is somebody that wants to make sure that everybody around her is as protected as possible. She is somebody that is just so good-hearted in her nature. The fact that she would remember Joel in her mind and instantly stop does not fit.
We already just discussed that and why it does fit, because it was that exact reason he mentioned why she did need to forgive him, and which is why she did need to forgive her.
Yeah.
Dramatically improved everything about The Last of Us Part 2. But these are just my detailed thoughts as somebody who is a Last of Us fan, but did not care for this game. What did...
Okay. Yeah, so that was the video of his perspective, and like I said, I love his content. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I honestly, anyone, I recommend watching his videos, whether you agree with his review here or not. He's fantastic at what he does. I truly enjoy it. Like I said, it was just that I personally feel different about the game than he does, and I just kind of wanted to use his points, because I feel like he brought up very good points and what I feel other people feel as well. And so I just wanted to use someone that had that voice already out there to just kind of elaborate a little bit on it. And I didn't want to use too much of his video because that's his stuff, but like, if you guys agree with his point or don't, whatever it is, go to his video, like, subscribe, comment under his stuff. Like I said, he's fantastic, and you can voice your own opinions, whether you agree or disagree with him there. But like I said, I just kind of wanted to give my point of view, our point of view in regards to the game, on how we feel like it, it really was.
For the people that have been bashing the game, maybe after seeing our video, you might go like, oh, they have a good point, or yeah, they're right. So that's why we're doing this.
And you know video. What? Maybe you won't, but at least you might understand the point of view from the people who do feel like us.
Yeah.
And, it might give you a different perspective. And again, it's just looking at the bigger picture, not just, the one scale.
Right.
But that being said, overall, I loved this game.
Yeah.
I think it's, as I mentioned before, Game of the Year. I don't think it's going to be contested for the next 5 years at least, in terms of quality, in terms of story, in terms of gameplay.
The attention to detail in this game is just amazing. I just saw a video not too long ago just earlier, and I saw like the 25 insane details in The Last of Us Part 2, and some of the stuff I already noticed, and some of it I was just like, holy cow. I was just like, holy shit, man, this game is something else.
So yeah, there's it's the amount of work that was put into this. Like, as a future developer myself, hoping someday, knock on wood, I hope I can create content like this, or at least half of this, to be honest, because this is some other level stuff right here. This is insane.
We want to make a game like this one day,
someday,
but with our own ideas. Obviously.
So we got some ideas we're looking to put out there, but whenever that happens. But point is that this game is fantastic. I personally I think it's at the top of the game food chain, and
definitely my top 3 favorite games of all time.
For sure. One final piece in regards to this game that I wanted to put in here is the potential for a part 3. I might have touched on this while I was finishing the gameplay for the playthrough I made and streamed, but Ellie now has nowhere to go. Abby and Lev have made it, from what the ending clip shows. It looks
like they're gonna go to where were they located?
They were in Santa Barbara, but they looked like they found fireflies, or that they were going to locate the fireflies.
So it looks like they're gonna head in that direction to find the fireflies, and maybe when they get there, they might find a doctor or something.
Yeah.
That could find the cure or the vaccine and bring back humanity again.
And to me, with that being said, if Ellie and Lev manage to find the fireflies and start a new life there, that's great. But to me, a potential part 3 could indicate that Ellie doesn't find solace, even after everything, in terms of the last thing she and Joel spoke about, which was how she feels that he took her identity from him. She was going to at least be the one that could provide a cure to save the world. And she feels like that was taken from her. Maybe she doesn't end up finding that same identity again. So what she ends up doing is hearing that the fireflies still do exist, and then she decides to try to see if they might have a doctor so that she can still, in the end, provide her life to provide that cure. And she makes her way to the fireflies where Ellie and Lev may be, and there it would be where Ellie is ready to give her life up. But the conflict between Abby and Ellie could arise. Maybe somehow, for some way, Abby finds a reason to not allow that to happen with Ellie. Maybe Ellie or Abby now decides to take it upon herself to save Ellie. Abby saves Ellie now instead of letting her die like Joel did, and maybe now Abby can now see why Joel did what he did, which then gives her perspective on why he did it and makes her feel guilty, or not guilty, but at least understands why Joel did what he did, which causes her to apologize to Ellie for not understanding earlier. So it might just come around full circle. You never know on how that all works out. So that's just my personal idea on how part 3 could go. There's a lot that could go with that. They did a lot with this, so that's definitely a direction I think that could go. Honestly, I'd play that because that sounds pretty cool. Yeah. That's a lot of character development.
I don't know how they're going to top this game because, like we said, this game is freaking phenomenal.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
There's no way you can top this game. They set the bar so high
for sure.
For this one.
And that's just for games, period.
Yeah.
It's just period. But anyway, I know this video is long as hell for like a reaction / review. Yeah, I apologize about that.
We just wanted to get our thoughts out there because of the negative comments.
Not just the negative comments, but just to kind of show that there's another side to everything. Right, the same as the game, there's 2 sides to everything. So we just kind of want to elaborate on that a little bit. But if you guys liked the video, agreed with it, even if you hated it, whatever it is, leave a like, a dislike, anything really. Subscribe, follow us. We have a Twitter. You can follow us and like us on there as well. We have our Twitch, which we do usually from Thursday to Sunday, 8 o'clock. Around that time frame, we play some video games. We're going to be doing Ghost of Tsushima when that comes out, so that should be fun.
That's going to be a great game.
You guys can follow us on Twitter and on Twitch, which is there again. It's the same name as our YouTube channel, the 2G1VG. So Give us a follow there if you like. But aside from that, it was a pleasure kind of going over this. And Dreamcast Guy, thank you so much for creating your content. We really do appreciate it. Again, people go follow him. Fantastic.
Leave a comment down below.
Please leave a comment down below. Your
tell
opinions.
us what you think. We like to hear your side.
Absolutely. Also. And then, yeah, just kind of go from there. But thank you guys again so much. My name is Jose, a.k.a. Jark.
I am Calvin.
We are 2G1VG. And until next time.
See ya.